And 3, 2, 1. Clock started.
Wow.
Hello, Chanel. How are you doing?
We're in the room.
We
I'm
are
great.
in the
How are
room.
you?
I am great. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another great week of the back and forth. I don't have to tell you who we are, but I will anyway. I am Kevin, your esteemed co host, with my lovely sidekick here. Her name is
Chanel.
Chanel. This week, we have another great topic. We talked about something a while back about Mila Kunis and her husband and their children, and that time it was about
The stinky
bathing,
kids.
bathing practices that they chose not to do, and they are back in the news again. This time for something that might seem common sense to some, but some people might really think about these type of things and they don't know what side of the fence they're on. And I'm going to pull up in the middle of the screen, let you show what we're talking about. It says here, put it in the middle, here it goes, poof. Mila Kunis opened up about disagreeing with Ashton Kutcher over parenting choices after she encouraged her 6-year-old daughter to push another child. And what happened was her daughter came home and told that someone pushed her. And so she asked, did she push her back? And basically saying that's what she should have done. She said next time something like that happens, you push her back. Well, Ashton Kutcher didn't agree with her, basically saying that we shouldn't raise our children to do things like that. You talk things out, and you don't have to resort to violence. Bear in mind, this is only a 6-year-old. So that's how we set this up, Chanel. So from your experience, and from what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, um, with when I'm talking with kids and even with my own, I do. I don't promote violence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. However,
Mm-hmm.
there's always a consequence to an offense. There's always a consequence, and whether that consequence is, you go through the proper channels and the issue is resolved. That's usually the way that I would suggest children handle someone else's violent behavior.
Mm-hmm.
We can take it even a step further. Like if we're teaching our children to be better,
Mm-hmm.
and someone is trying to lower them to a lower standard than what we're teaching them at home. Um, if they go ahead and go down in the gutter with them, then what are we doing? So yes, I definitely role play with the children that I counsel with and my own, that this is the proper way to handle things, and trust and believe you're not going to have to endure that very long, especially with me, because if you're going through the proper channels and it's not being handled, we will make sure it gets handled.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked a little bit about bullying a few lessons or a few videos ago, and at the end of the day, we should be advocating for our children. And so there's a certain time when us as parents do have to step in. But in the meantime, these are life lessons that children need to learn,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's someone pushing them physically or someone pushing them emotionally or mentally. There's a certain way that you handle that. And they need to learn these lessons firsthand on how to do this. Otherwise, when they become an adult, how are they going to handle this type of abuse?
Mm-hmm.
Kev?
You said a lot of elaborate words there, Chanel. They were so profound. I really appreciate your your demeanor, the way you speak so eloquently towards that subject. But let's be real. We all grew up, and I'm telling you this right now. You push my child, I'm going to tell my child to push you back. Let's just be real. Because what we don't want is our child being bullied or being a target that way somebody can just think they can just run push around on your child. Yes, there's a way to handle this correctly. I understand that. Tell your child, you can let your child know if somebody pushes you, tell the teacher. However, if somebody's going to keep pushing you and they know they can get away with it, they're going to continue to keep pushing you. So sooner or later, you have to stand up for yourself. Now, we're
Yeah.
not promoting violence, as Chanel said, but what I don't want the child to do, if you push me now, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait till the end of the day when you least expect it while your head's in the locker or something like that. I push you at that point and say, that's for pushing me earlier. No, we
Right.
handle it right then. And so the reason I say that is this right here, because then it's something becomes premeditated. You push me, I didn't do anything. I waited till the right time. You could be about to get off the bus, and I push you off the bus. And I would say, well, you pushed me earlier today. The thing about that now is this right here. Your child's going to get in trouble because that was premeditated, and now you could have hurt somebody, and you should have handled it at the time it occurred. So we need to be careful with our words. She was right. However, she can be right, but she can also follow that up with a lesson at the same time. If somebody pushes you, you push them back. Also, you need to let an adult know what happened. That way, because what usually happens is the person who retaliates usually is the person who gets caught. And that's how it is in society. Somebody does something to me, nobody knows anything about it. I do something back, everybody sees it, and now I'm in trouble. Nobody saw the first offense, or if they did see it, nothing ever happened, so nobody's going to come vouch for you. So we have to make sure we let our children know that there's a right and a wrong way to handle these type of things. Don't let nobody push you. Also, let someone else know in authority what occurred. That way we can try to cover both bases. Your child's not going to be pushed anymore, hopefully, and also the parents will get involved. Because if I get involved and someone says that, well, your child just pushed that other child, she said that somebody pushed her, she pushed her back, and I'll be like, and? What the problem is? Or as we say it correctly, and what will be the problem with that? I'm just saying, Chanel. I'm not trying to be a contrarian on this one. I'm just trying to let some of these parents know that what happens for real. Because some people's kids are little bad children. I don't like saying that word. They are horrible towards other
Yeah.
kids. And sometimes they have to be put in their place because until they get put in their place, they're going to continue to keep doing that. But for my child, I'm not the one. My mom and dad told me if somebody pushed me, I'm pushing them back. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I hope it didn't go too far off the rails on that one, Chanel.
No, you stayed on target today. You stayed on
Thank you.
target today.
Uh,
No, I agree with the whole continuation thing because here's this is just my personality, and I'll just say this. I'm not saying it's right, but it's my personality. My personality is okay. Someone pushed me. Dude, what's going on? What you doing? Now, not definitely not an adult. As an adult,
oh
I
yeah, I'm talking
handle
about children.
handle things
Yeah.
differently. But as kids, my brother was more an aggressive person. My little brother was more of an aggressive person. Me, if I'm gonna get aggressive, I'm coming for your throat. We're not playing patty cake. So my brother was. This is a story that my mom told me. I vaguely remember it happening because I'm not an aggressive person physically anyway. Um, but my brother kept coming for me, right? And so I told him to stop. I said, he's my little brother, tell him to stop or whatever. He kept coming for me, and I was like, stop. And then I guess my mom was just paying attention to the whole dynamics of what was happening. Next thing she heard this snap, and my brother just fell out. I mean, just dramatic. And my mom came through, and I went back to doing what I was doing, back to minding my business, being moisturized and unbothered. And my mom got onto my brother, and she said, she kept telling you to stop. And so she had to smack you because you wouldn't listen. You wasn't respecting what she said. She didn't want to be bothered with you. And so that's just my level of tolerance. So when it comes to any type of disrespect, whether it's emotional, whether it's talking, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical, you push me, okay, what's going on? I may grab your shirt and take you to the teacher and say, look, he pushed me, and I'm gonna need you to do something about it. And if the teacher said, well, why you got a shirt? I got a shirt because I'm trying to tell you that he's pushing me. And if you don't want to do nothing about it, then I'm going to push him back. Like, that would be like what I would probably do. And then go and tell my dad that's what I did. Because the next time when it happens and I push him back, I need everybody to know that I held on to some restraint in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And when I push back, and when he break an arm or a leg or whatever, because my push ain't gonna be like patty cake. You gonna feel it for real. Then y'all gonna all know I'm the type of person, I'm gonna cover all of my bases. Because when everything hit the fan, y'all ain't gonna act like y'all don't know. Y'all ain't gonna pretend like y'all don't know. I got text messages in my phone right now, Kev, covering bases.
So
when the stuff hit the fan, y'all gonna know that's why.
So what you're saying is a lot of your stuff is premeditated then, because you've thought it through. And then
I thought it through.
You
and
started through. You started through, and then you finally responded. I didn't say you reacted, because in order to react, your react is initial. Your response is something that you've thought about and is calculated,
yes.
you thought it through, and you calculated what was going to be done. Yes. So you covered your bases. Yes. You sound like a little diabolical, one of those little diabolical villains that be on the movies.
It's the consequence to fit the crime, sir. The Bible says the kingdom of heaven suffer the violence. But what? The violent take it by force.
You just pulled a Bible verse into a 6-year-old situation.
I'm coming for it violently. Okay? Ain't that what the word say?
Did it literally mean an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth? Did it mean an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, though? Because it sounded like to me.
I took you when you went for my eye. I went and took you to the teacher. The Bible says, "Bring them before the church house." He said, "Bring them before the church to see if y'all can be reconciled." So I grabbed him up by his shirt and brought him before the teacher to see if we could reconcile this thing.
So right? I'm hoping that Chanel. This is Chanel talking about little Chanel, but as a parent, let's hope that we find she's actually giving you, she's coaching you on how to respond to initial things that could be physical or mental.
Verbal. Yeah.
Either way, take people to the authorities. Now, you may have to snatch them up to get them there. And so sometimes you may have to push them back and snatch them up to get them to where you got to get them to, so we can all handle these things accordingly. So we all have to, like she says, we have to govern ourselves.
Yes.
Accordingly.
Govern yourselves accordingly.
Accordingly.
Yes.
And make sure that we are holding ourselves above reproach. Because what we don't want is these things to come back on us. So we teach our children, well, yes, we're not going to let people push us. We don't want nobody pushing our children. And we teach them that when things like this happen, to take it to the authorities and govern yourselves accordingly.
Listen, you better listen on today.
I'm just saying, I told y'all Chanel was going to bring it today. I let her talk on this one. She covered all of it. I didn't say anything at all. I put my little 2 cents in there, and you saw Chanel came with 98 cents. Now we got a whole $1.
Listen, we got a whole $1. Listen, that's why we got text messages today. You cover your bases. Okay, this and this happened. Pictures. So when y'all can't find the body, y'all gonna already know why.
And we're not okay. All right. We're not covering up bodies. This is the back and forth. We're not condoning any violence. We're not covering. Hey y'all, it's been another great show. In case I didn't tell you all, make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, and notification button, so you all know to come back and look at this content. We promise that Chanel won't be talking about burying no bodies, because she's talking about, and we're not trying to catch no case on YouTube, because I don't know where she went at with that. You talking about taking stuff off the rails? Chanel has. She threw the body off the train and it's rolling around in the dirt and all kinds of stuff. But this has been another great topic, another great week. And Chanel, I'm going to tell the people to stay safe and be blessed. And what you going to tell them?
Make sure you put God first. make sure you put God first. You cannot go wrong when you put him first in your life.
So I'm going to tell you all, see y'all next time. We out.
All right.